Okay, so here we have some graphs. Whoops. Alright, so we've got graphs of sine and cosine. Okay. So there are cosine and sine. Sine is the continuous line, or continuous curve rather, and cosine is the broken curve. Alright. That's where we're at the moment. I'm going to just make a couple little bits and pieces for notes for these particular graphs. The first note we can make is that the domain for this particular graph is, whoops, I'll get that right in a second, is minus 360 degrees. So it starts over here at minus 360 degrees, is then less than or equal to theta, less than or equal to positive 360 degrees. We good? So far, we understand where our domain is?
Is it greater than theta?
Yeah, so minus 360 is less than or equal to theta, which is less than or equal to 360. Okay, these graphs can actually go past these points as this domain for theta is just two intervals. So I'll get the right two in a second. Two intervals or periods. Put that there. Periods of 360 degrees. So there's two lots. Alright, so there's one, and there's the other.
What's the word after as and before domain?
As this.
Oh, this.
Right, so there's one period or interval. And there's our other. Now just note that a period or interval will not necessarily always be 360. Right? It just represents where the pattern starts to repeat. So we can see here, we're starting here, we go up, we go over the hill, we go down in the valley, and we start to go back up again. And then it repeats. So this section here gets repeated right here. Okay? So that's what the period or interval is. It's the bit where it starts to repeat again. Okay? Does that make sense?
It's like your fifth one.
Is that still recording?
Yep, that's still recording.
Alright. On this graph as well, let's go back to my bucket. On this graph as well, you can see that there's a minimum value and a maximum value. There's a range, essentially. Okay? Maximum and minimum value. For this particular graph, these values are what?
1 and negative 1.
1 and negative 1. Can everyone see that? Can everyone see where there's our 1? None of them actually go above that. There's our minus 1. None actually go below that. Okay? We cool with that?
Yep.
Awesome. This has a name. Alright, there is actually a name for this particular feature of sine and cosine graphs. Okay? The name for this is amplitude. Has everyone heard of amplitude before? You've probably heard something that's short for amplitude. In amp. So audio engineers use sine and cosine graphs a lot, and those functions. Oops. For this graph, the amplitude is what? How far up can it go?
1.
1. How far down can it go?
Negative 1.
Goes another unit, well, it goes 1 unit down, doesn't it? So, what's its amplitude?
2.
1. It can go up 1 or it can go down 1. So the amplitude for this is 1. Alright, everyone copied that one down? So this is unique to sine and cosine. Alright, tangent and cotangent have a unique version of a graph, and sec and cosec have unique versions as well.